So here's a quick overview of how to remove the rear door panel on a Gen 3 IS. So for the first step, just undo the Phillips bolt over here, and there's going to be a bolt hidden behind this door handle here, and two more back here. You just have to remove these clips. I'll show you in a sec. So behind this cover over here, there's going to be another screw, so just use a plastic panel tool to pull that back. I already have mine removed. So one screw there, and there's two more behind this panel over here. So you're going to have to gently pry off an edge and pull it out, and two more screws. So once you remove those three screws, we'll continue to the next step. So for the next step, you want to disconnect the wire to the power window switch. I found the best way to pry this panel up is by using a disposable gift card. If you want, just pry that underneath, and this thing just pops up. Just go gentle around the edges. So just to disconnect that connector and continue. So for the next step, to remove the entire panel, once you've removed those screws from that location and disconnected the switch, just gently pry on the panel, starting from the bottom. There'll be clips located around this entire section here, and then for this portion, you have to push the panel up to remove it. So let me see if I can try to do this in one take. Almost forgot. Remember not to yank it all off, because you still have two cables to disconnect behind the door handle and the door lock. They're fairly simple. So to disconnect these two cables, just pull it back from the clip and just wiggle them loose. There's a little ball at the end of it that'll come out. Oops. Like that. And like that. So in order to remove the door handle, we first have to get access behind here. First step, disconnect the power harness to the power door lock. Like that. And we want to remove this leather seal from here. So best way, just pull it back and just use a little blade. Should be enough access. So the next step is to remove the three hex bolts from here. I think they're T30s. So once you do that, continue to the next step. Okay, so once you remove the three T30 bolts, the door lock should just slide down on its own. Just wiggle it loose a little, move it down, sure it doesn't fall down too low, and let me see if I can get a little closer. Bring the light nearby. There's going to be another T30 bolt right there. So just loosen that up. The bolt won't fall down because there's a plastic clip holding the bolt from coming out fully. So just undo that and I'll continue to the next step. So for the next step, in order to remove the smaller portion of the door handle, there's a little clip over there. You'll have to squeeze it with needle nose pliers and simultaneously pull out on it, and that'll release that portion. So continue to the next step once I've done that. So that would be the portion that you'd want to use the needle nose pliers to just squeeze in and gently wiggle it out. Remember not to apply too much force because this portion is plastic and you don't want to break it. So that's the first section of the door handle. And to release the door handle itself, you have to push the door handle out straight that way and then pull back. So let me just get someone else to hold the camera for a sec. So before removing the door handle itself, remember to have this yellow latch pulled back in case it got activated down and back like that. And for the door handle itself, you just have to push it straight that way and back and it should come out. Let's see if I can do it from behind here. So pull it straight to the, let me redo that from the outside. So essentially pulling it to the right and it just slides out like that. And that's it, and just do the reverse to put it back together. So to remove the front panel, you'll have to access a hidden screw behind here. So I just use a screwdriver and pry this up. I already have mine loose since I'm working with one hand. Next off, there's going to be 2 screws hidden behind here. So use a flathead, something really thin, and pull this thing back. And that'll expose the 2 bolts down here. There's another screw over here that you want to remove. I'll use a screwdriver for that. And to take off this switch over here, I found that using a thin card just to push underneath here and lift up gently and from the front, that'll work rather than using a screwdriver because it might potentially damage the edges of the switch. And just disconnect the harness from the back. So I'll continue to the next step in a moment. So for the next step, to remove the panel itself, just go around the edges and gently pull up. Found using a panel edge tool and a cloth. And just gently go around the edges. Remember not to yank this thing off just yet because there's going to be a connector for the light switch. So just reach back or pull it back a little and disconnect the harness from behind the door. And once I've done that, I'll continue to the next step. But essentially to remove this thing, you just pull up, pull towards yourself and then up to lift it out. So once you've lifted it up this much, the next step, there's going to be another harness connector that you must remove over here off the top. And there is going to be then for the door latch, well, the door handle and the lock mechanism. To remove this, pull it out, and the little ball just goes through from the end of it, like so. Same thing for the other one, but I'll continue once I've taken it off. So to remove the front door handle, first you need to get access to the T30 bolt at the side of the door over here. There's usually a grommet covering that up. Once you've done that, just wiggle loose the lock mechanism. It should all come out in one piece. Then for the door handle itself, before you start yanking on it, there's going to be the proximity sensors located here. So you have to come to this side of the door. And there should be a harness right there. So first step is use a little flathead screwdriver, and this little white portion over here, you have to push it in to release the connector and it'll pull out. So essentially when you're pushing it, you have to get that thing to release and this entire connector comes out. Once you've done that, just push back this yellow retainer clip and the handle should come out like all the regular Toyota handles, where you just go to the front, push to the right, and it just pulls out in one piece. And to put it back in, just do the reverse. Just be careful with the proximity sensors so you don't damage it. That's it.